by Hurricane Andrew, which leveled everything in the area. The stones have not shifted. Many of the features and carvings of the castle are notable. Among them are a two-story castle tower that served as Leetskallen's living quarters, walls consisting entirely of 8-foot-high pieces of coral, an accurate sundial, a Polaris telescope, an obelisk, a barbecue, a water well, a fountain, celestial stars and planets, and numerous pieces of furniture. The furniture pieces included are a heart-shaped table, a table in the shape of Florida, 25 rocking chairs, chairs resembling crescent moons, a bathtub, beds, and a royal throne. What is most remarkable about the contents of the Coral Castle is the massive size of the stones used throughout the construction. All the more remarkable when one considers that a single man assembled the entire site using only primitive tools. With few exceptions, the objects are made from a single piece of stone that weigh on average 15 tons. The largest stone weighs 30 tons, and the tallest stones are two monolithic stones that stand 25 feet high each. A 9-ton revolving gate is the most famous structure of the castle and was documented on the television programs In Search of and That's Incredible. The gate is carved so precisely that it fits within a quarter of an inch of the walls on both sides. A child could open the gate with the push of a single finger. The mystery of the gate's perfectly balanced axis and the amazing ease in which it evolved lasted for decades until the gate suddenly stopped working in 1986. At that time, a team of engineers was brought in for construction. In order to move the gate, 6 men and a 50-ton crane were utilized. Once the gate was removed, the engineers discovered how Leetskallen had centered and balanced the 9-ton piece of rock. Leetskallen had drilled a hole from top to bottom of the 8-foot-tall gate with no electric tools and inserted a metal shaft. The rock rested on an old truck bearing. It was rusting out of this bearing, and that resulted in the gate's failure to revolve. The 9-ton gate, complete with new bearings and a replaced shaft, was lifted and set back into place on July 23, 1986. The gate failed again in 2005 and was subsequently repaired. However, it does not rotate with the same ease as it once did. The structure is considered mysterious by some, mainly because it is said that one man assembled the entire structure. Leetskallen seems to have gone to great lengths to ensure that he was not observed working. The castle's official site states that Ed did much of the work at night by lantern. The Coral Castle has numerous lookouts along the castle walls, which were designed to protect his privacy. There are various theories that hold that Leetskallen constructed the castle using some unknown form of science. For example, one website claims that Ed Leetskallen left behind blueprints of nature, a secret knowledge of the ancients. Such theories seem to be discounted by evidence such as photographs showing Leetskallen working apparently using traditional methods like block and tackle. There is skepticism as to the success of the traditional methods of tripods equipped with pulleys and chains that are in the photographs of Leetskallen at work. Some point out that the tripods appear to raise only about 20 feet, while the largest stones are 25 feet and stand vertical. They claim that the tripods are made from wooden telephone poles and could not support the larger stones. There are not enough pulleys to lessen the weight of the stones enough that a 100-pound man could exert enough force to lift the stones. The chains with 3/8 inch links, which could still be found in the tool room of the castle tower, are seen in the photographs and are only rated with a 3.5-ton workload and may not be able to support the weight of the stones. However, these claims have not been rigorously analyzed by either engineers or scientists. The Coral Castle site states that if anyone ever questioned Ed about how he moved the blocks of coral, Ed would only reply that he understood the laws of weight and leverage well. He also stated that he discovered the secrets of the pyramids, which of course could be interpreted as either esoteric or in engineering terms. On a previous episode, we discussed megaliths and their possible association with the Nephilim, or at least with a process or technology that the people had in the past that allowed the ancients to erect massively heavy stones. Coral Castle stands as possible proof of this process. Ed Leedskalnin seemed to think that he had found the secret of the pyramids and how they were built. And his project seems to offer potential proof of that, because he moved stones that were heavier than the ones in the pyramids. But of course, the Great Pyramid and the others were done on a much larger scale. Coral Castle is relatively small, and it's very easy to miss, and very easy to ignore. The mystery of its construction. I mean, to a certain extent, you might go there and actually be underwhelmed, only because the rocks of the main garden are actually real close together, and so in a way seem small. But it's fascinating to see that it mimics megalith construction in many ways. Perfectly fitted stones, astrological alignments, high precision in its construction, and this all done by one man. Unfortunately, Ed took his secrets to his grave, only leaving us the clues that he wished us to know. So was it? So how did he do it? Was it magnetism? An anti-gravity? Some type of manipulation of Earth energy, or was it just for advanced principles of leverage? And besides that, how did he learn this? Did he learn this from other people? Did he develop this on his own? Or was this knowledge passed down from higher beings or an older age? His work still stands today for anyone who wishes to see proof that the world still has mysteries in strange places. Recently, an Egyptian paper claimed they had found coins bearing the name of Joseph from the Bible. Egyptian coins carrying the name of Joseph, the biblical patriarch, whose arrival in Egypt as a slave eventually provided salvation for his family during decades of drought across the Middle East, have been discovered in a cache of antique items shelved in boxes in a museum, according to a news report. The report from the Middle East Media Institute said the coins with Joseph's name and image were found in a pile of unsorted artifacts that had been stored in the Museum of Egypt. This group, which monitors and translates reports for Middle East publications and broadcasters, said the original report was in Egypt's Al-Aram newspaper in Cairo. The newspaper said the discovery countered claims by some historians that coins were not used for trade in Egypt at the time the Bible records Joseph and the Israelites migrating there. Those historians have argued that trade was done by barter. But researchers told the newspaper that the minting dates of the coins in their cache have been matched to the period when Joseph was recorded to be in Egypt. A thorough examination revealed that the coins bore the year in which they were minted and their value, or effigies of pharaohs who ruled at the time of their minting. Some of the coins are from the time when Joseph lived in Egypt and bear the same name and portrait, said the newspaper report. The report carried an explanation of the discovery by the team involving researcher Saeed Mohammed Tibet. Studies by Dr. Tibet's team have revealed what most archaeologists took for kind of a charm and others took for an ornament or adornment is actually a coin. Several facts led them to this conclusion. First, the fact that many such coins have been found at various archaeological sites, and also the fact that they are round or oval in shape and have two faces, one with an inscription called the inscribed face and the other with an image called the engraved face, just like the coins we use today, said the report. The newspaper called the find unprecedented and said the researchers discovered the coins when they sifted through thousands of small archaeological artifacts stored in the vaults of the Museum of Egypt. The Egyptian newspaper noted that the Quran clearly indicates that coins were used in Egypt at the time of Joseph. The report continued. Research team head Dr. Saeed Mohammed Tibet said that during his archaeological research on the prophet Joseph, he had discovered in the vaults of the Egyptian Antiquities Authority and the National Museum many charms from various eras before and after the period of Joseph, including one that bore his effigy as Minister of the Treasury in the Egyptian Pharaoh's court. The report continued. According to Dr. Tibet, His studies are based on publications about the